We are back for another edition of Live from Redhook here at the Function House, kicking it off on Tuesday night. Tonight we want to welcome to the show Mr. VTone.
What's up, guys? Thank you.
VTone, welcome.
Welcome to the show, my
How are you
brother.
guys? Thank you.
So where you from, bro? Let's talk about where you're from.
Brooklyn, Bensonhurst.
Nice.
Hearst.
That's who we are.
Hold this up.
Not
here.
anymore, though. Now we're in Staten Island.
All right, yeah. Well,
That's the natural progression for everybody in Brooklyn, right?
we'll all be out there soon.
Where I call it Statugene. Where in Staten Island?
Right now, we are right off of Bradley Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, talk to us. Brooklyn, born in Bensonhurst, born and raised.
Yeah, born and raised in Bensonhurst.
You're not Italian, right?
No, definitely not.
So when did you get into this whole DJing thing?
I was about maybe 14, 15. I used to work for a wedding band named Rivali out of Bensonhurst. And a friend of mine, John Mario, he was selling some equipment for $125, and I picked it up. 3 turntables.
For 120, you came up big.
Technique,
big.
1200s?
No,
Oh,
the
okay.
Geminis. But, at 15 Geminis for, $125, 3 turntables, 2 mixes, you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
hot.
And
That was
then,
hot.
My father, he was, back in the day, he used to play some music. He was in wedding bands, and he used to play bass, so he had speakers already. So, I just needed this turntable.
So wait, what were you doing in the band? Were you like
No,
playing?
not me, my father.
No, I'm saying, but you said you.
Oh, I
were
was
with-
a roadie for the band.
You were
sorry.
roadie for the band.
Yes,
Okay.
I was a roadie. I used to pack all their gear up. At the end of the night, set it all up in the beginning of the night. That whole shift.
That's
You
a
know it way
grind,
too
bro.
well, we
That
know
is
it.
a grind going up the stairs in the
Yeah,
catering
in the
halls.
back of the catering halls.
Yeah, man.
With all the old food, you're gonna slip on the floor.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
it was
So
tough.
your parents must have loved when you played music in the house.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's ultimately where we came up with basement sessions, and because of that room, I was able to practice my heart out, and I was able to learn the craft itself. And
So what year was this?
This, it's 98. Maybe,
Okay.
Yeah.
All
98,
right.
99, about then. I mean, I was 15. So yeah, that was everything. I packed everything up to do that. I cleaned out my room, and that was it. I put all my equipment in there, and I just put my bed in a closet, and that was it. I slept in a closet.
So when did you make the transition from Gemini belt drive turntables
To the
Oh,
12s.
to the
I had
12s?
to be maybe 17, 18 when I finally got the techniques, and I got the Technique 1210 MK2s.
Brand new?
No, they weren't brand new. They were used. My cousin.
Do you still have them?
Yes, I do.
You want to sell them?
Definitely not. Definitely not. No way. I'll never sell them. I have every piece of equipment I've had since day one.
You still have those Geminis?
I still have the Geminis.
How come you didn't bring them here tonight? He brought every piece of equipment here tonight except the Geminis.
Definitely not the Geminis. But yeah, I mean, I still have every piece of equipment from when I started. So yeah.
That's amazing. So who was some of the DJs that you used to roll with back in the day? Who was like you inspired by?
Inspired by, well, I mean, I was young, 15, 16, 17, coming up in the city. I mean, the only names really were Jonathan, Junior, and Danny. I mean, that's what was going on at that point.
Those were the big three at that time, right?
I mean, that's what was going on, and, they've all definitely influenced me in some way, but I would definitely have to say Shorting from Brooklyn, it was something that was close to home, that was very inspiring, that definitely motivated me some more. But yeah, I mean, those top 3 DJs definitely what did it to me. I was going out every week as a young kid, and that's what was it.
What clubs were you going to? Factory?
Yeah, I mean, we started off at Limelight. The first 2 weeks of going out, we went to Limelight. Then we went to Exit the next 2 weeks, and then I told all my friends, I'm done. I got to go to Sound Factory. And it was a wrap. I went to Sound Factory every
So
weekend.
you used to experience the marathon sets by Jonathan
Yes,
Peters.
the marathon sets by Jonathan were definitely something that you had to be there to experience. It was nothing else that was going on at that time. But yeah.
So you were starting off growing up on house music.
Yeah.
Did you do like any hip hop or
No, I
anything
never
like
did
that?
hip hop, but I did want to do this because of reggae. I will say that. I was inspired because of the beats. There was a lot of dancing in it. But then the progression just, got out of control once it started going out, and it was over after that. We just
So you were inspired to DJ because of reggae.
reggae.
music.
That's what I started with. Goggle. Remember the song Goggle?
Yeah.
If I was a rich girl.
Yeah, that was all the old school reggae tracks. That's what it was.
Well,
at first.
reggae,
Yeah.
I mean, reggae back in
Back
96, 97, 98.
It's coming
was-
to take a little comeback.
It is
reggae.
making a comeback.
It is
but
because it's sad that nobody really like. There used to be a time in the night where you would do a reggae set,
Yeah.
and it would be like sometimes
It
it would
was
last
big.
even an hour long
Yeah,
because
of course.
people were feeling it.
Yeah.
What's great about it is during that time, reggae was huge.
Yeah.
And there was always a reggae set. Whenever you played, it was a reggae set.
Yeah.
But it's always fun when you play for a crowd that's from that era
Mhm.
and you can rock all the old school reggae
Yeah.
tracks. People go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
go
mean, I
crazy.
never played it out live in public. My thing was always, the electronic stuff.
So you
but-
should just chill in the house and play reggae.
yeah. We used to smoke and play some reggae.
That's
That
it.
was
So,
it.
so tonight you're gonna play a reggae set.
Now we're going back to our roots. Tonight we're gonna
I could
play-
picture you in the house, just one strobe light on, a little reggae going in the bedroom.
We used to have a light show down there.
That's great.
Oh, man.
So Sound Factory, Jonathan Peters,
Yes.
staying for the extended sets, inspiring you, house music. So now you're very big into techno, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, we're playing a lot of techno now. I mean, we still, production-wise, we try to be creative and like to flex, our knowledge in the music.
Yep.
But, what's right now, techno is where it's at if you want to be in the mid-clubs.
So how often are you in the studio producing? working
Every
on
day,
track every
almost
day?
every week, yeah.
Yeah.
Every Friday we have a session with our engineer, and every day during the week, that's basically what we focus on more now, because the first 15 years of this journey was playing the gigs. So now it's about producing and really building our stuff.
So where do you work out? Do you have a studio in your house?
We have a studio out of our house, and then we work out of Long Island City on Fridays with an engineer friend of ours, and yeah, I mean, it's really taken us to a different place where we want to go.
So you releasing anything soon? Is
Yeah.
something coming out?
We have a couple of stuff out right now, but we definitely are bringing in some more stuff. We just did a remix with Lisa Pure that should be out either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And then, yeah, I mean, we have a couple other things that we're just working on. I mean, we just released an edit of the Kanye track, Fade, excuse me.
Faded. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just did that. We just put it up on SoundCloud, but SoundCloud's whack. They took us down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they take
yeah,
everything
they
down.
take
Now we're
everything down,
changing it, and we're putting it up on, Dropbox or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah,
So
that's it.
so producing wise, are you guys like sticking to one type of genre of house music or techno, or are you guys just open to doing anything?
We're open to what comes to us at the time when we're in the studio.
Yep.
I mean, our backgrounds are, we've been in the scene for a while, so we have a lot of knowledge of what takes place from 10 o'clock to 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So, we're not trying to keep ourselves within a genre. I've never been that type of person to stay within a genre. I feel like creatively, you have to flex a little bit
Yeah, of course.
and try to test it out. And if it's not you, it's not you. But you don't know unless you try it out. But that's what it just comes to
So a
us.
real serious question: would you make a reggae techno song?
I would definitely use a reggae vocal over at some type
Well,
of techno track.
There's a couple tracks out right now
Yeah.
with reggae vocals
Yeah.
100%.
that are really dope too.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
there
it's-
actually is. Yeah.
They got a good vibe to them. I mean, the voices, the vocals from reggae definitely were movable.
You know, you start to hear a lot of hip hop now being sampled into house music.
Yeah.
You know, into like
Yeah.
these tracks, which I like.
It's going
Yeah.
more like with the deep house type of
Yeah.
sound.
A lot of
but
the
it-
old school hip
Yeah,
hop
like
records.
Cream. I heard a Cream sample, like Wu-Tang Clan. They sampled Cream
Yeah.
into a track, and it's dope.
Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of tech house with some old school hip hop vocals in it, and it's a good blend when everything starts coming together, because a lot of people are coming together. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people are more open-minded these
Yeah.
days. You know,
It's
it
not
used to
like
be
what it
like
was.
where a person would only listen to one type of
Yeah.
music or follow on one type of DJ, or they would, be unopened to hearing certain things on a dance floor. Whereas, like now,
Yeah.
people will
Now-
go on anything on
Yeah,
a dance floor.
everybody wants to have a good time, so whatever brings them there. I think that's what people are looking for more now.
How did the name VTone come about?
The name VTone came about. I had to be, just starting 14, 15, and a friend of mine at the time, we were trying to come up with names because that's what it was. You didn't use your real name at that time. So, well, at least for us, we did it.
DJ Vitale, son.
At least what I was doing, we did it. But,
Thanks,
that
V-Tone.
being said, a friend of mine came up with it, and then it's just stuck since then. It's just
What's your
15
real
years.
name?
My real name is Vito.
There you go.
Vito Scalonia. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a tough sell, though. Everybody refers that name straight to the Godfather. So it's not, it's kind of annoying after a while, 15 years.
Yeah, but if you lived in Europe, you'd be booked all over Manhattan.
That's true, but I'm here right now, so,
Yeah, that name is pretty Jewish.
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah.
So talk to us about gigs. Where have you been playing?
The last thing we did was, the Sound Factory reunion at Space,
Okay.
which was great. It was a great turnout. It was for Halloween. It was pretty packed, to be honest. It was really packed. And, I played up on the roof, and I was there, till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was jamming all night.
That's
That's
great.
It was a good turnout.
Isn't
Yeah.
it amazing when you get like a responsive crowd?
Yeah. When people are into it and they react, I play for the crowd. I don't play for myself. So, I need the reaction from people out in the crowd.
Yeah, it feeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's when what to gauge and, what you're testing out. And, if this sound works or it doesn't work, but you need the crowd response. That's what, is everything to it.
Yeah, it's crazy, where, at the clubs where the crowds are actually coming to hear the music as opposed to just staring at the DJ.
Yeah.
We were at Cielo on Saturday doing a live stream over there, and with Hector Romero and Forward Disco, and the people were just rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came to dance.
They
that's-
really,
That's what that party's known
Yeah.
for. So,
so it
everyone's
was-
there enjoying
everyone
themselves.
is just there for the
Yes.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was an
Yeah.
older crowd too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
it
it
wasn't.
was having
You didn't
fun.
see any young kids in there.
Yeah.
So
Good
who were some of the DJs that you're following today? I mean, who do you like that's out on the scene?
Today, it's tough because there's a lot of DJs
Yeah,
out
it's
today. There's
crazy.
a lot of producers out today. You can sit on Beatport all day and check out tracks, and you're going to like everybody. But then you can go on SoundCloud and check out the free stuff that just, kids are doing. And you're going to like that even more than what you're hearing on Beatport. So it's tough now. There's a lot of stuff going on now. So to name specific people, I can't
It's
do
tough,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I can't do it. I play a lot of, I definitely look on SoundCloud for some of the kids that are putting up some free edits that they can't get on record labels and stuff like that, and it's better than some of the stuff that's on Beatport.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I scroll through SoundCloud,
Yeah.
I'll find some stuff that I like, and I've never heard of these
Yeah.
kids before.
And
they're
it's-
making
it's-
banging records.
Yeah, it's good. That's where it is. That's what you want to be playing. Everyone could play everything on Beatport.
Yeah.
You gotta search. You gotta try the other artists.
But there's so much music.
Just so much music
I mean, it's like
a lot of music.
impossible
Yeah.
to.
to name. Just you
You
can
know.
name the top 10 in Beatport, but everybody knows that. Nicole Mudabar, everybody. Victor. It's after that. You need something else.
But
What other sites are you on? TrackSource also?
Yeah, TrackSource, we definitely go on. We go on Discogs every so often just for some fun stuff. Juno, but definitely, we definitely look up Beatport, and we try to, network between our Facebook and who's hitting us up and see what people are doing. It's just not about what Beatport's providing and TrackSource and Juno and Discogs. It's the other kids that are doing it that can't get out there. They don't know how to do it.
it's more work
Yeah.
as a DJ
Yeah.
to stay on top of your music.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always you always had to stay on top of your music, but it's just I think it's overwhelming these days.
It
Yeah.
is, because you used to walk into a record store and there would be a DJ there actually playing records that you heard from the weekend, and then you would just be like, "Yo, I need one of those," "Oh yeah, put one of those aside for me."
Or there
You
would
know,
be a
so
kid
like
that knew the whole list, and he would just
Exactly.
hand it off to you. Yeah,
Yes.
this is what you got to
like,
do.
yo, this is hot.
Yeah,
you
this
got to
is
be
what it
playing
is.
this, and
Yeah.
they'd be actually pushing records
Yeah.
because they needed to sell records. But little they know, they were like basically working for you.
Yeah.
So now you're on these sites, and you have to spend hours combing through these records.
And there's too many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
way too
it's a
many.
lot.
But what's crazy too is that you'll probably it's easy to get carried away,
Yeah.
and caught up in just like, oh, I like this, I like that, I like
Like
this, I like that,
everything.
and then you before you know it, your crate's filled up,
Yeah.
right? And then half the times you don't even know what you bought, right?
Buy them, you don't play them.
You don't play them. But what's crazy is that you can go back. Like sometimes I'll go back to like folders that I bought, like I don't know, 2 years ago, and there's tracks in there that you're like, wow, this song's great. You could play it. And
Yeah.
like, you'll play it, and people are like, what is that? I'm like, that track's like 2 years old.
Yeah.
So you can get away now with going back to old stuff
Big time.
because it's like it's still a lot of the stuff doesn't get dated like it used to
But
in
it
the
has
past.
to be good.
Yes,
It has to be good. It has to hold its weight.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just another track.
Yeah.
But that's what it is now.
Well,
Technology.
Technology,
Yeah.
I know.
It's an animal.
It definitely is.
I mean, it's got its positives and its
Of
negatives.
course.
You know,
100%.
I think it raises, to some extent, it raises the bar for people
Yeah.
to have to work harder.
Yeah.
Because like the people who are staying on top of the technology, if you're not, you're getting left behind.
Yeah, you get left back.
And and you're getting left behind a lot quicker today than it was in the past.
Yeah, they pick up on it real quick now with the technology. It's,
Yeah.
You're on the technology, though. You brought a whole bunch of gadgets.
Yeah, I brought the tractor, a couple X1s, a couple things.
The Gemini belt-driven turntables
I
are
got
up
the
there.
effects box, a couple things.
The effects in the Pioneer wasn't enough for you.
No,
right?
it's different. It's different. I'm telling you now, Pioneer, it's different.
You're just used to it.
Yeah, no. I like the pitch echo on the effects box. Yeah.
So what made you transition to what you're playing with now, as
Uh,
opposed?
Well, wait, did you make the switch from records to CDs?
Yeah, I started on vinyl. That's originally where I started from. When I was 15, I was on the 1210s learning and the Geminis learning on vinyl. I play my parents' old 45s, whatever I can get my hands on, just to learn beat matching. And then eventually I went to CDs, like everybody did.
Right.
I didn't.
And
Yeah, you didn't make
I
that
didn't-
transition.
I went right to Cerrado.
well, you're hip hop, so that makes more sense. So but yeah, we went from vinyl to CD, and then eventually from CD to Tractor, and I haven't looked back. And
You know what's crazy? There's a lot of people that are on Cerrado. There's a lot of people on Tractor. The people that are on Tractor are on Tractor. They don't even want to hear about Cerrado.
Yeah.
And the people.
And the
on-
people that are on Cerrado don't even want to hear about Tractor. Like it's what you're comfortable with,
yeah,
really.
it really
Whatever.
is.
ultimately, yeah, especially now.
And you can. Well, I mean, I think that Cerrado has evolved, right? And it's gotten a little bit more in depth. They've added some effects and stuff like that. Whereas Tractor out the box was a little bit more
Yeah.
involved,
They-
and there was more effects and more things you can do.
There was a lot of time, I think, put into Tractor on what the specific style of DJ that was going to use it wanted,
Yep.
and I think it definitely benefited.
I'll
from
be
that.
honest with you, though. When Scribbles was here and he was playing with Tractor, and I was cutting, it was a lot more responsive than Cerrado. I felt there was a total difference than
Well,
playing
I'm a
with Cerrado.
big advocate for Tractor.
Yeah.
The syncing on Tractor, the beat grid on Tractor, everything about Tractor itself, it just stays in the pocket. Whereas Cerrado, there's a lot more work you have to put into it to keep yourself in that pocket, I feel. And today's time, there's a lot going on. So, I mean, if you're going to utilize these programs for what they are, you got to play them for what they are. You can't just play tracks,
Yeah.
especially with Tractor.
Yeah.
But Cerrado for, hip hop and whatnot, that's where it's at.
I think it also has a lot to do with, like the media you're using to play with these programs, right? And what I mean by that is, you can use a controller where I feel that sometimes a controller has more responsiveness and maybe matching a beat is tighter with a controller than it is with, say, like a CD player where you're using control CDs to do it. Or
Yeah.
I find that you have more control and your mixes are tighter when you're using the control wave file on a stick inside of the say the Pioneer.
Pioneer.
You get different responsiveness with different medias when you're playing with Cerrado.
Well, like I said, I'm big with Tractor. I mean, I haven't looked back since
What, are you looking for a sponsor? Tractor. This guy's looking for a sponsor with Tractor.
He owns everything Tractor imaginable.
Well, whatever it is, no, Tractor, if you listen, definitely. But nah,
He's been playing on it for
point.
years.
He was
That
the
wasn't the
first
point.
one.
It's definitely,
on, the
very-
day after Thanksgiving, he was waiting in line for Tractor.
I don't know about that. Yeah. Nah, but I like Tractor a lot. Put it that way.
Awesome.
All right, so you planned something for us tonight?
A little bit. Playing more a little techno, being a little bit more creative on the techno realm. So yeah, a couple of things we have, and then at the end of the night, I think we're gonna hold off for the Lisa Pure remix. That's something we're working on heavy right now, and like I said before, it should be coming out the end of the year or beginning of next year, and should get a great response for that.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to hearing you play. Thank you for coming down and rocking with us.
Definitely.
Yep.
VTone,
Thank you
thanks
guys
for
for
coming to
having
the
me.
Function House.
We're going to
man.
take a 2-minute break. We're going to get VTone up on Tractor. Tractor.
Thank you.
Peace.